What's up, guys? I'm back with another one. Man, what a fight! What a fight! Let's just get straight into this one. It's been a long time in the making. Um, there was a lot of back and forth with this one. The build up to it was great. It was great for boxing. We finally got a fight that the fans deserved. Going into this fight, Garcia had to cater to a lot of things. He had to the weight, the catch weight clause, rehydration, all this stuff. Wow, seventh round KO for Davis. What a fight! I mean, what can I say? Garcia, I think no excuses. I mean, Tank was the better fighter. He proved that tonight. He made Garcia look very one-dimensional. I did give Garcia the first round, and another one was pretty close. I gave to Garcia. I can't remember which one, maybe the fourth, but it was pretty close. I guess that round could have gone either way. But Tank fought a brilliant fight. He kept his jab out a lot at times, using it as a range protector. He made himself a smaller target, not giving Garcia much to look for, to be able to hit. Garcia, he doesn't change levels very well. He's very straightforward, he doesn't, his up and down movement, it's not there, and I think that played him brilliantly with Tank making himself a smaller target. Wow, I just felt like, there were times that I felt Garcia could have pressured him more, but with Tank making himself a smaller target, Garcia's head will always be in the same position to be hit. I felt like Garcia should have made himself a smaller target. It would have made his range a lot more effective. It would have given him a better chance. I'm not saying it would have changed anything. I just feel like Tank was the better all-around fighter tonight. It showed. You could see it in there. The experience, like the level of experience between both Garcia and Davis was obvious. He fought a brilliant fight. I mean, Garcia didn't really have much. He used his jab pretty well at times, but it just wasn't enough. Tank also used his jab very well. He went to the body, he went to the head. There were times where I was unsure, like, I don't know how to explain this, man, but there was times where I was unsure of Tank's direction. As I said in my previous video, I was Team Tank for this fight. I've followed Tank Davis since his early days. There was a lot of controversy in this fight with the rehydration clause and all of these things, and I don't want to take anything away from Garcia. The fight happened because of him. He wanted this fight. De La Hoya advised him against it. Bernard Hopkins advised him. His whole team advised him against this fight, but he wanted it. And you can't take nothing away from him for that. I hope that this fight will be an example to a lot of other fighters. to take chances, to give people these great fights. I've said in the previous video, I was Team Tank going into this. When I heard of the rehydration clause and all of this, I was kind of bummed out because I didn't want, the way I was looking at this, I didn't feel that Tank needed these things, and it made him look very insecure, doing all these things, what he was doing. Leonard Ellerby said something like, that's how the A side conducts themselves. I disagree. I totally disagree with that. I totally disagree with it. As on the financial side of things, yes, the A side can conduct themselves in the way that they want. That's fine. But doing this as a fan, this is coming from a fan of Davis. I want Davis to beat the best version of Garcia. So that was my issue with this whole thing. I didn't think he needed it. I didn't want Tank having any advantages if he were to win. I didn't want those things to discredit his win. But regardless of how all that stuff played out, it was a brilliant strategy by Davis, making himself the smaller target, crouching down. Why did he crouch down so much? Why did he make himself the smaller target, crouching down, doing all these things he did? Because he knew Garcia's head will be right in line for any type of counter punching. I mean, his head movement is not that great. His defense overall is not that great. He relies on his speed, and so much to the point where he neglects his head movement because most people are intimidated by his speed, or they don't know how to negate it. So Tank, by making himself the smaller target, he moved around the ring really well. Like I said, there was times where Garcia used his jab pretty good, but he really couldn't find anything else outside of that. It reminded me of Conor McGregor when he got in close with Floyd Mayweather. He didn't know what to do. That's something that Garcia is really going to have to work on going forward in his career, is his inside game. And being more, like I said, switching levels. Not being just a straightforward fighter with a jab, and, your attack is very one-dimensional. He did go to the body sometimes, but it just wasn't enough. He didn't have the confidence to do it. He didn't want to get countered by Davis. He was worried about what was coming back, so he didn't go to the body as much as I think he would have liked to. He couldn't, and that just shows Garcia wasn't ready for this. He has to work on his inside game. He has to be a lot more, I want to say, deceiving when transitioning from the body to the head attack. His attack is just very basic. His speed bails him out a lot. And if you look at the fight with Raleigh against Tank, I mean, he was doing good. He used his range. Davis has a lot of problems with people that can utilize their range to their advantage. The reason that I think, like I said, the reason Garcia wasn't able to use his range to his advantage is his lack of head movement. It's always, Tank always knows where he's gonna be coming up for the attack. If I make myself small and make him reach down, to attack me, he's very basic. I can come back up. I know where he's gonna be. It was a brilliant strategy by Tank. Again, great fight. I thank Garcia, Davis for giving the fans, us boxing fans, this fight. I hope that's a good example for a lot of other fighters out there. Um, I'm very critical even of some of my own favorite fighters, and that's one thing I can say about Davis. Um, he was in the money team protection program for a lot of his career, and that was unfortunate. But he's his own boss now. He's in the position where he can give us the fights that he wants now. I mean, I don't want to put people on blast, but people like Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, they've been around the game a long time, and I think their resume. I'm not trying to knock them. I'm a fan of them both. I love watching their fights. As good as Crawford is, we haven't. His resume is not so good as it should be. His resume doesn't do his skills justice, is what I'm saying. I could kind of say the same thing for Earl Spence, although I think his resume is a little better than Crawford's, and I think they're both great fighters. But you compare their resumes to somebody like Lomachenko or Tank Davis, guys that have way less fights. That's just. This is a great example. I don't take nothing away from Ryan Garcia. He conceded to everything that they demanded of him to make the fight happen, even though his team advised him not to do it. And I don't blame them. I mean, I would have came in heavier if I were Ryan Garcia, and I would have paid the penalties for that. I'm not sure it would have helped anything. Just you could see the difference of skill level tonight. It was very evident. There wasn't a lot going on in the fight, other than I think the first round was the most exciting. The second round was a perfect example. Make yourself small, make him reach coming in. You don't have to worry about nothing. You know where his head's gonna be. He said it at the post-fight interview. Just come over the top, and that's what he did. A brilliant game plan. Congratulations to Tank Davis. Hopefully, Calvin Ford said he was using Garcia as a statement to put everybody else on notice. Stop messing with my boy, and hopefully we will get the fights with Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, Cambosos and Teofimo Lopez. All these guys. This is a stacked division. What does Ryan Garcia do from here? I don't know. I think he has a lot to work on. I thought, I knew going into this fight, Ryan Garcia didn't have an inside game. But looking at I went back to that fight with Raleigh, even though, Tank did what he had to do. Raleigh was in control. I mean, Raleigh is awkward. Raleigh is an awkward fighter. He knows how to use his distance very well. He's got some decent head movement. Not the best defense, but enough to make his style work for him. And so I looked at that fight a lot, and I thought, to myself, maybe Garcia will see some positives in that. There was a lot of positive things going into this fight for Garcia. I mean, he had a lot of footage to study of, when Tank was being outboxed, and things like that. But Tank, he's a great fighter. Even when he's not doing much throughout the fight, he's taking in the input and making the adjustments. That's what makes Tank so great. Besides his power, is the way that he adjusts to to be able to implement the style of fight that he wants, and he makes those adjustments that are necessary. I don't think he gets enough credit for his boxing skills, because people just look at the knockouts, but there's a brilliance behind the way he sets those shots up. My hat's off to Davis. Great fight. I hope that, there's no credibility taken away from his win. I hope this isn't an issue going forward with all fighters doing these rehydration clauses and putting all these stipulations. I thought a lot about this rehydration clause drama, and to me, it just looked like it was a roadblock they were putting up a roadblock for Garcia in hopes that he wouldn't agree to, because no one would in their right mind agree to those things. And, so you have to give credit where it's due at the end of the day, and I give Garcia credit for compromising, giving them everything they wanted. He really wanted this fight. I didn't think he was ready, but I thought, with studying tape, I thought that Garcia would seize this moment to the best of his ability, make the adjustments. He had been training many months. He wasn't able to do a tune-up fight before this one, and I thought that would actually benefit him, because that Tank's next. You might have not have gotten the tune-up fight you wanted, but he had been training all that time. I wasn't sure how Joe Goosen was going to be able to help him. I did have some hopes that I was kind of, interested to see him being with Joe Goosen. What are we going to see different? I was curious in that aspect, but honestly, it's no disrespect to Joe Goosen. I didn't see anything different from Garcia tonight. So what does he do moving forward? He really has to work on his defense, his head movement, and his inside game, because now there's a blueprint on his weaknesses. So going forward, he's going to have to work on that. Tank, on the other hand, what does he do from here? What's next for him? I hope there's some big fights. He talks a lot about retiring early. I don't think you should do that, man. You're in your prime, and there's too many big fights ahead to walk away so soon. I'm excited to see what happens in this division. We got Haney, you've got Shakur Stevenson. I don't know if Shakur Stevenson's at 130, 135, but that they're all bound to meet up at some point in time. Right now, I'm really big on Shakur Stevenson. I think his boxing skills are amazing. He may not hit as hard as Tank, but his skills are just more polished. I wish that Shakur Stevenson did have the power like Tank has. Nobody would want to get in there with him. He reminds me of a Sugar Ray Leonard in some ways. Just a very smart, technical guy. He doesn't waste anything. He does everything at the right moment. Rarely leaves himself in a vulnerable position. I'm just so interested to see the rest of this division moving forward. But I guess that's all I got for now, guys. What a fight, Congratulations to Tank Davis on his win, and we got to be thankful to them for giving us boxing fans a fight like this, of this magnitude. And my hat's off to Garcia. He was a big reason why this fight happened. He wanted it. He gave it his best. He came up short. What can you do, But a great fight, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Please, if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Sorry I haven't been making too much content lately. I've been hella busy, but I had to come in and give my thoughts on this fight. But thank you guys for listening to me. I appreciate all of you. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'm off to the next one. Thank you guys.